My friends, we are live on time, on the nose, on the second, because I have been thinking about you today, and I'm telling you that I'm going to say this. I have looked so forward to today, towards this is my Saturday night. This is my Saturday night. I'm glad to be here. I hope you are as well. This is becoming addictive. This is becoming, and that's all we need is another addiction. This is phenomenal. I'm so glad you were here. And with all that is going on in the world today, my friends, with all of the commentary and all of the disaster, isn't it nice that you and I can meet and talk about something that, granted, to some folks may not be, I don't know why, but I'm not going to apologize. Somebody asked me, are you still on that kick? I said, yes. Why? I said, because it's fascinating. Have you had that from people? Have you heard that? What are you talking about? Who cares? Who cares? Why is this any less important or different than sports or entertainment comments or whatever? This is I can explain this in so many different ways. There is something about this which we find compelling. Do you remember, I don't know if you're old enough, but when Columbo was big, with Peter Falk. In Columbo, it was a murder mystery where they showed you ahead of time who did what. You knew who the bad guy was. You knew it. But then you wanted to see, well, how are they going to prove it? We know who the bad guy is. The bad guy is Erika Kirk. Period. End of discussion. I mean, there's no doubt about this. I'm sorry to say this. I know this may confound some people, but it's the God's honest truth. The question I have is, how will we prove, or how will this be proved, and how, more importantly, how long is this fraud going to be allowed to occur? And how can people not see it? People who theoretically loved and believed in Charlie and TPUSA and the like. How does this not work? This is the thing which I don't understand. I don't grasp it. Seriously, I don't grasp how anybody doesn't see it. I really don't. I don't understand. How can you not find this fascinating? How can you not find this group of people? I don't know if you remember this. Again, I keep making reference to, but when Dynasty and Dallas and all these shows were great, they had these villains, and, they had Joan Collins and Linda Evans, and, it was just Alexis or whoever these people, I don't know what the hell their name were. But the point is, we watched with this absolute fascination, and there was also something about the devilish one. Ms. Cato says, most people have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about. Here. When I bring this up, they only watch mainstream TV and they have zero idea what's going on. Oh my God, thank you, Ms. Cato. 100%. People look at you like, yeah. They say, aren't you following this? Sure, yeah. Don't you care about Charlie? Who? Charlie Kirk? Charlie Kirk. No. Listen, I don't know what to tell you. I've always liked, there's certain things I like. When growing up as a kid, I loved professional wrestling, NWA stuff from the 70s. I don't care if anybody knew what it was, but it was big. Right? It was, and then it became cool. Then it became cool later on. When the Real Housewives of New Jersey first came out, not the others, New Jersey, it was a cluster. It was every week. It was like, this is so stupid. And my wife and I said, what are we doing? And it was great. It was like, have you ever eaten something where you, that's why, whatever you do, and I don't eat this type of thing, but I Reese's peanut butter cups, frozen, I'm done. I just keep it away from me. I don't care what anybody says. I'll go crazy. I'll lose my mind. And I'm not even a sweet, but that's what this is to me. I don't know why it is. I don't know why that versus this. I don't know. So many levels. It's like we meet because this is like Dungeons and Dragons or something, or we meet, and what I love is it's not, we're all on the same page. You know what I mean? Have you met anybody seriously today who honestly says, leave her alone? She's a widow. Are you meaning? No, that is gone. That thing is gone. It has left the station. There is nobody anymore. Nobody. And as people are catching on, oh my God, have you noticed it? Have you seen? Other folks are coming along and by the way, the research of these people is just absolutely incredible. But the research is terrific. And then you find older versions. And have you noticed that the Erika portrayals kind of grow with, I don't know, but they grow with age. They're beautiful. You know what I mean? You realize it becomes, you think, did somebody fix this? No. This is the way it's always been. She's always been like this? Yes. It seems so blatant. You're thinking, it's always been like this? Always been like this. This is worse than I remember. Worse than I remember. There's Big Dickie Daniels. Yes, Uncle, this bunch is one of a kind. Oh, the best. The best. Wouldn't you, you ready for this? Okay, let me tell you something real crazy. Oh, by the way, I'd be remiss. Lionel merch. Remember, hey guys, we have merch. Hey guys, it's Lionel Nation merch. It's got my picture, man. That's my Erika. Hey guys. Anyway, if we had a convention, here's trouble. Here's Renee. She says, there's some leave her alone folks in the chat right now. Oh, good, welcome. Please welcome. Hey, listen, anybody want to leave her alone? Leave her alone? What do you mean leave her alone? Why doesn't she leave? It'll go away. What do you say? Huh? Leave her alone. Hey, guys. Are you kidding me? Leave her alone. Listen, everybody's welcome. And be nice. Be cordial. They know not what they do. They don't know what they say. How do you miss this? How do you miss this? I'm keeping track of these, of the, I don't know what you want to call it, the newcomers, the new folks who come along. These incredible folks that are just, it's some of the best I've ever seen. The best. Absolutely the best. Oh, and speaking of the best is AD Fleet. Have you seen the latest with this one? She is genius. And we've been on her twice now. The best. I mean, this thing has so many legs to it. You know what I mean? It's so many legs. When are people, by the way, when are the apologies coming? Anybody seen Dan Bongino? I have no idea. I have no clue if he's around, if he's about. I have absolutely, sad to say, my friends, no clue about him, where he's going, if he's, but that's when it got, see, a couple of things happened to me, which are critical. First is, I think it's important to note, there were these moments where I thought, this is out of control. The first, like I told you before, I started off in this, I had no interest, didn't know who anybody was. I was a big fan of Candace, but nothing, again, I'm not trying to say she's nothing, she had a lot to offer, but I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the world, and I certainly would catch her, but this didn't stick. I don't know why, it just didn't. The thing that got me, in case you're just here, and by the way, I love it, if anybody wants to do the leave her alone stuff, it was the funeral business in the casket with the hand shot. The hand. That killed me. That was it. That was it. For some reason, it goes back to there was a person I know one time whose mother was in the hospital. This is incredible. I mean, think of your beloved mother, and think of like when your mother was alive. They probably cared about how they looked, and they want to be remembered and not sick. And this son of a bitch had his mother in the hospital with like tubes. Her hand looked almost purple from the IVs. It was almost like sticking out in a like a claw. And I swear to you, he said, "Poor mom," and he gave the pout, sad line, and he took a selfie with his mother. And I wanted to find this person and say, "Oh, you can't do this. You can't do this." The great Edie Crowley, how dare you? I could be in Hollywood, in beauty school. Yes, thank you. By the way, Edie Crowley, one of the best. One of the best. I mentioned something today, and I hope nobody takes offense at this, because you never know. You never know. But I'm going to break a couple things. You know that there's a difference between men and women, right? You know that? I don't know if you knew this, but there's a difference. There's a difference between men and women. It's true. And I don't mean, the obvious. I mean this. And if you want to get somebody, if you want to find out somebody who has the kind of like the bullshit detector, and I mean, please don't get women. Men are. I mean, sometimes I found myself, like my wife will say, "You don't believe that, do you?" And I said, "You're right." It's not that I'm gullible. I'm really not. I'm sometimes, but to see through the layers of nonsense, women are superior. Women are superior. Do you hear what I'm saying? And it's not. And I can give you a lot of reasons, a lot of atavistic reasons, a lot of evolutionary reasons, a lot of reasons why, this may or may not happen. But I'm telling you, there's something about women who are able to tell whether it's intuition or not. "You're evil if you criticize her" on X genuinely offends my intelligence. Oh, yes, but please keep it up. You don't understand. See, if I ran the show, and by the way, Renee, you're right. If I ran the show, I would come forward and I would say, I would promote this. How dare you? It's like a Greta Thunberg. Remember the first time you saw Greta Thunberg? Remember that thing? What the hell was this? "I could be in school." They go to school. What the hell's the matter with you? "I could be in school." Who is this? Well, these folks have that sense of whatever you want to call it, and I'm telling you, there's something so bananas about these folks and why they don't seem to get it for reasons that I don't really know. But we'll get to the bottom of this. But let me explain to you a couple of things. And first of all, Jamie says, "Lionel, the women are smarter." Jamie, I'm going to give you a reason for this. Okay, you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Okay, I'm going to tell you this. And I'm not just being gratuitous. I mean it. God, we use God, nature, whatever you want to call it, decided, okay, we got two people here. We got men and women. How are we going to do this? How are we going to divvy this up? All right, women, you're going to bear the kid. Men, women, the brood, and men, you're gonna provide the seeds. That's it. See ya. Have a good day. Do your thing and get out. And of course, men always have this thing which they use to justify infidelity, because we're going to spread our seed. Man wasn't meant to be monogamous. Have you heard this? Men, they're like Margaret Mead all of a sudden. "I've got to cheat because it's not natural." What? There's going to be the decline of civilization if you don't go out and cheat? What the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? They have these people. But I do believe this. I do believe a couple of things. God said, and again, I'm not trying to be sacrilegious, but just for shortcuts. God said, okay, listen, women, number one, you're going to be, whether you have children or not, doesn't matter, you've got this instinct. Number one, you're going to be home with or you're going to be wired to be home with the brood. I know that sounds crazy. If you're saying, "Hey, is there a party?" Like men, you're not going to work. So over time, evolution has selected people who are determined, who say, I'm going to stay home. Now, we can get into the whole peacock, peahen thing and why men tend to be more ostentatious than the female because of camouflage purposes, but I'll let that go. Purple Gang 2.0 controls the alphabet agencies. Okay. Wow. Thank you. Okay. Because of that also, women have to be far more communicative. Far more communicative. Why? Because if you look at a child, if you look at a baby, that baby's not going to be able to talk to you. So you've got to notice every little thing, every moment of dyspepsia or the croup or colic or whatever the hell it is. You're going to say, something's wrong. And that's why women like to say sometimes, what's wrong? Tell me how you feel. You go into a bar where two men meet and say, hey, how are you? We're like this. How you doing? Great. How's everything? Terrific. Great. Because we lie. Women talk close together. Well, let me tell you what happened. There is an ability, it's very critical. What do you feel? How do you think? Far more important to you. Far more important. How do you feel? What does this mean? More talking, more communicative, more interested in explaining feelings and discernment. Men don't. It's just for the most part. There's exceptions, but still, they don't. And the reason for that again is because I think you're predestined for that. Next, you keep track of it. Number 3, because you are given this ability and power, you've got to be very, very territorial. Very territorial. I don't know if you ever watch these dog documentaries. I love these cane corsos, these bull mastiffs, these dogs that just will die for you. I mean, they attach with you. And babies, poof, oh, somebody else, another story. But their own, women have that. Very loyal, very loyal. It's very rare that a woman abandons her family. Very, very rare. But with that comes an ability to figure out and to determine enemies. Who's the enemy? And how do you tell an enemy? How do we tell them? They're not going to snatch our eggs or whatever it is. They're going to lie to us. And that's why women are the greatest lie detectors you've ever seen in your life. Ever. The greatest ever. Jamie says, when the devil broke the family dynamic, it was by design. Women stay home, father works and protects. You know, it's something, and thank you about that. I agree. There's something to be said about the old. There's something to be said about, well, that's old-fashioned. Well, how the hell do you think it got to be old-fashioned? And by the way, this leads up to, don't think it doesn't lead up to Erika, but I'm trying to explain this. But you're right about that. And I think there's something which is also important, very, very critical, and that's this. You are, if I could take the part of your brain, if I could take a man and a woman and watch Erika the first time she does this nonsense, and I could do some fMRI, some imaging of the brain, the parts of the brain that would fire for a woman would be different than men. Your suspicion thing was, you would realize this. You don't even realize you're doing it. Why? Because it goes back to, I think, atavistic, evolutionary. I think your ability to think differently and to just be aware of this. I know that may sound crazy to people, but I believe it. The first time, now as you know, I'm a former prosecutor, but trial lawyer, and I always look at people. I look all the time. I look, and I'm saying, how does this work for a jury? Do they believe this? Did they believe this or not? Now, the bottom line is this. If I have to size this up, Charlie was a good guy, but gullible. Gullible as hell. I don't think he had any idea of what he was up against, and I think in many respects they used him. I think they thought he's an oaf. I think they thought he was just a jerk, and that they could do whatever they wanted, and they could just, come along, and they could just, play with him because he's just, here comes Charlie. I think they thought they were going to use him. I absolutely did. Men have nipples. Why? They're homologous. Not only that, men have nipples, but also because we start off together and then Y chromosome comes along. The Y chromosome makes men. The Y chromosome is genetically inert. So everything that you have, we have. We start off with the same. You have testes, fallopian tubes, uterus, prostate. You can see that is called homologous. And by the way, penis, clitoris, and for men, make a note of this. And the scrotum, as you know, the scrotum is bisected. by a line. It's called the bulbar urethral raphe, and this would have been the labia. This would have been the pudenda or pudendum. Absolutely. So what you see is we are in a we're kind of a defective woman. We have nipples that don't work. We have a prostate. What the hell does it do? The clitoris is far more effective in terms of getting the job done. We're it's just poorly designed. We die sooner. Just not very good. By the way, if I give estrogen to a man, he loses secondary facial hair, may take out some characteristics, become softer. You give testosterone to a woman, she goes crazy and kills you. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Vanunkin says, Erika reminds me of my cousin. She told me, I will pay you back because my mother died when I was 20 years old. Really? Oh, yeah. See, that's the they owe me thing. And let me also tell you something. Something happened along the way, too. And that's why this is a very important for fathers and to impress upon this. I don't know what her relationship was. If I had to guess, for no particular reason, I think her mother was a grifter. Look up Kenneth and Sante Kimes. This was Mrs. Silverman here in New York. She was like the Ma Barker, so to speak. These were Adriana, New Jersey. Oh, it says, I have a senior dog. In this past year, I have mourned more for his impending death than Erika has for Charlie's actual death. Absolutely. Absolutely. I am not going to suggest that she is the psychopath. All right? Renee says, I don't believe Charlie dated prior to her. Poor bastard didn't stand a chance. Renee, where are you from? You're right about that. You are right about that. By the way, the Kenneth Kimes case, my friend Mel Sachs represented, I think, Kenneth. Oh, we drive by Silverman's place all the time, and it's this poor woman. In any event, I don't know what her story is either. I don't know what I think that Charlie. And by the way, which story of how they met? Which do you not remember? Or are you changing this? Are you bullshitting us about it? It's very simple. Say, how'd you meet? Don't answer the question, but don't lie to us. I don't think he had a chance. I don't think people realize this. I'm going to tell you something. And I know you're not going to like this, but I'm going to tell you something. And if you don't believe it, you don't know what's going on. When people first meet, when there's that click, the first thing, there's a power, at first it's, then there's the balancing. How does this thing work? And then at some particular point, then we get into the power differential. The sense of, I don't need you, you need me more than I need you. So don't push it, I'm out of here. And if that's met with, all right, go ahead. Then you say, okay, wait, I was just, there's that battle, and it happens. I don't know what it does. Welcome, Vonankin. You got to have names like Jerry. What's wrong with Jerry? Okay, anyway, but welcome. Have some crumb cake. Go to the front of the line. There's a differential, and I've seen this before. It's a game. You're playing a game. A game is strategy. It's about how does this thing work? How does this thing work? And you want to tell a man, don't ever let a woman push you around. And tell a woman, don't ever let a man either abuse you. And if a woman has a particular part of her life, or maybe she had a divorced father, a divorced parents, there's abandonment issues. There's always something. By the way, true story. I was doing talk radio one time, and I was just kind of fooling around. I said, listen, this guy said, I got a date. I said, listen, first of all, you go to a woman's apartment or go to whatever. I said, and at some point, just look around. If you see any pictures of herself in a picture by herself, nobody with her, not good. If she has cats, don't worry about the cats. If she has a lot of books like Chicken Soup for the Soul and Don't Sweat the Little Things, or all the little, but a lot of self-help, but so here's what you do. Excuse yourself and go to the John. And then when you open up and look at her medicine cabinet, Look for things like if you see a lot of laxative eating disorder, if you see, check out the medications. A lot of labels, read it. Don't take with alcohol. Know what antidepressants look like. Know what herpes medication. Just I was kind of kidding, sorta, maybe. So the week later, the same guy, the board op, tells me take line 5. So I take the call. And he says, remember me last week? Yeah, I called the date the girl. He said, go to the bathroom. And I said, yeah. She said, I did. And I opened up the medicine cabinet and I heard this. And she says, are you opening my cabinet? He goes, no, I caught my sleep. She had an alarm on it for her kid. I thought that was funny. Jamie says, almost missed my pants with anatomy lessons. Almost missed my pants with anatomy lessons. Okay. Alrighty. That's a good one. I don't know what that means. But maybe I'm a little slow. Saturday is my, I don't know if you have do you have like this is my fasting day. I just go 24 hours and towards the end you're going to, get a little goofy, a little shingad, as we say here in the West Side. Now, during the course of this, because we saw this, we realized there's time after time after time after time after time, person after person after person who does these great bits showing you what she said. And I swear to God, there's absolutely nothing about her that's in any way legitimate. Dr. whatever Latina says, I enjoy your reflections on human development. The hookup culture has destroyed courtship. Where women are pursued and cherished, we have degraded ourselves. Absolutely. But not only that, you have no idea. Men need, especially somebody to sit there and say, we're going to teach you this thing called romance, and we're going to teach you this thing called seduction. And if you can learn this, my friend, you are in. Now, I don't mean to do this as a lie. I don't mean to do this as a subterfuge. I mean it legitimately. I mean it. You know how many people have never had a love letter? They're just gone. Romance is gone. But if you don't have that, if you can do one thing, this is what I tell young men. I mean, if you can treat a woman with respect, open doors, I mean everything, put their feelings first, you will be so cherished, they won't know what to do. They'll think you're from another planet. Yvette says, I lost my dog Jack 9 days ago. Oh, I haven't felt the need to wear sequins just yet. In fact, I couldn't do anything for days. EK must be stronger than me. First of all, Yvette, from our family here to you, our condolences. That is horrible. That is horrible. And what's also the worst part about a dog is you are oftentimes you're like put in touch with the what am I trying to say? Sometimes the burying and holding it when it makes it even worse. For you to be able to love a dog goes back to an atavistic, again, I keep using that word, but this primordial part of you that doesn't even find that in a human, because love at their level is just so base. It doesn't have things like jealousy, all this stuff that we start off with love, jealousy, indifference, insecurity. Say, what is this? Dogs just love you. So listen, you know the routine. You mourn as much as you want to mourn, and then when you feel better, you got to get another dog. I know nobody wants to do it. They go, that's it. That's the last dog. That's it. Nonsense. And you will see in the next dog, your dog, Jack, you will see in that dog. It's almost like passing on. It's cosmic. Look, I don't know how things work, but there are things in my life that I've seen that I can't figure this out other than something. You know what I mean? Our good friend, Let Me Refresh, says, unfortunately, great chemistry and lust tells nothing about character or integrity. Charlie likely succumbed to the allure represented by EK. You know what? Absolutely. How do you tell somebody? How do you tell somebody? How do you tell somebody? Uh-oh, Van Ankens says, I'm sorry for not being a Jeff. Call me Livia. Livia! Livia, oh Livia, have you seen Livia? Livia the tattooed lady. Anyway, it's Lydia, but welcome, Livia. How do you tell a young man? Now listen, the lust part is fine. This is nature. This is nature. This is okay. This is a hormonal thing. That's the hormonal thing. It's different. You will have the hormones, but when you... I don't want to liken it to drugs, but I will. Okay? Don't do drugs. But if you ever do, don't do cocaine. Because you know what? You'll end up like Sparky here. Ironically, gypsy is a corruption of Egyptian. And didn't we hear something about Egyptian planes? Yes. Yes. I thought gyp was, gypsy, but it was also, gypsy, corruption, Egypt. Yes. Yes. There was from the Roma. And thank you. But if you ever do a drug, don't do it. But if you did cocaine, don't do it. But the first time, if it's good, don't do it. If it's not stepped on, don't do it. And let me tell you something, from what I've read, it will hit parts of you'll say, whoa, whoa, man. It's like somebody turned the light on, like, wow. Hey, you're so interesting. Look at this, look at this, look at this cup. By the way, available for sale. Look at this. How did they get it on there? Great. And that's the last time you'll ever have it like that. It's the last time. Enjoy it. It's like the first time I went skydiving tandem. Wow. Second time, AFF level 1. I can understand what can go wrong now. Well, when you're sitting around, you're 13, 12 today. By the way, young women today, because of all of these hormones in food, girls are getting their periods, menarche earlier. They're developing. Kids are forced into this rushed puberty by virtue of all the recombinant hormones and things in meat, and it's not good. But anyway, but when it's normal, you're sitting around, hey, you like girls? Okay, I like girls. They're okay. And then all of a sudden, bang! And you say, wait a minute, hold it. And you go crazy. Jamie says, YouTube can be harsh on what we write, even when it's not dirty. Miss my pants was all they gave me. By the way, put the word backwards. Put a little asterisk. I know. My good friend Sparky here, who's been with me for a year, couldn't say good. You had to write doog. I said, good? They didn't like good? They didn't like good. Jesus. But anyway, here's this guy all of a sudden. And he said, oh my God. And it's tough. Now, women are far a little. Anybody who says a sex drive of a woman is not. No. Especially later on, it's like the Hubble. It's like the expanding universe. It's like men. A little T. I got a little T. Not women. No. No. Put it this way: there's no male version of MILF. You notice that one? There's no such thing as that. Anyway, but you get some poor kid, he doesn't know what to do. I say, listen, Sparky, take it easy there. I know you're 14. I know you're going crazy. I know you're gonna yank that thing off if you don't stop. I understand, that's normal. But when you calm down, remember something. Even if you don't mean it, and if you want women, you have to understand this thing called seduction, Charlie. Seduction. And it doesn't mean you're not Gig Young or Charles Boyer or no. It doesn't mean that. It means respect and being nice and being a gentleman. They'll go crazy. I'm telling you. So that being said, so I don't think Charlie knew what the hell was going on. And I think that's not her first rodeo, if you know what I mean. Now, I'm not trying to say that women cannot be sexually experienced like men. That's what I say. No, 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 no. That's a kind of a double standard. But she knew from the time I'll bet you anything, from the time she was a girl, she was sexualized by her mother. I mean, you're going to be in pageants. You're going to that bullshit story about. So next thing you know, somebody sent me, and I'm enrolled. It don't work like that. Nobody shows up and says, "Hi, how are you? Yeah, my name is Ramona Lipschitz. I'm here for the Miss New Jersey. I got this in the mail. Sure, over here. Do I go over here?" You know she said that, right? She was nominated. What? Nominated? They fight together. You got to pay the entrance fee, and you got to do this, and you got to go to these schools. Uh-oh. Sparky says, you missed my super chat before my Egyptian planes one. Well, hang on a minute, Sparky. Sparky does that always. Sometimes Sparky you won't miss one, but he'll say you missed it just because he's like that. And so I got to go back and look for it. But that's okay. Sparky says, pass down family behavior like with Irish travelers or gypsies. Yes, thank you. And by the way, well worth the search, my friend. Thank you for that. I think from the time she was a kid, she was sexualized. Meaning, not in that way, but I think she knew, you're a girl, and this is how you catch men. And watch mommy. How many times is mommy married? Who knows? And then, according to Candace, her real father apparently spent time with her, and then she said she was a single mom. I mean, she told stories just for the hell of it. Doctora Latina. You missed my second shot too. Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. Here we go. Did I say Doctora Latina? Yes, romance is gone. I tried to rear my two daughters to respect themselves. But the internet and pop culture woos them. Dogs give unconditional love, I agree. Yes. I don't even know how to raise a girl today. Oh my God. The first thing kids, daughters need is a strong father. Show respect. Would you stop that? Stop it. Stop it. I missed yours too. Dee Dee. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Hang on a minute. This is not anybody who's kind enough. I'm not going to let go by. If you're nice enough, you have my unconditional attention. Dee Dee, let's go back. Dee Dee. Where's Dee Dee? Hang on a minute. Dee Dee, are you just saying? Dee Dee says, oh, I'm watching from 40,000 feet. DB, is that it? Wow. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that something? Love says, do you think even with legit proof there will be justice for Charlie? When people say TPUSA is finished, is it possibly true? Oh, yeah, it's true. Now, there may be some other version. There she is. There's M. Martin. Thank you. It could be. It could be very well. Thanks to you, my friend. By the way, I want to do these acknowledgments. Hope you don't mind. Anybody who's nice enough to do it. I don't want to wait till later and then... no, I'm sorry. I believe in immediate, recognition of this. No, I don't think it can. It can't. It can't. It can't. And what Candace has to do, what she's doing, are all these creepy Cabot, Doofus, and Weatherington, Tyler, Tiber. Who are these people? These weird folks. No. I think, put it this way. If there has not already been fraud, I wouldn't be surprised if Candace prevented fraud in the future, a serious fraud. Because remember what they were saying. They wanted to go into houses and real estate. I can see them having TPUSA communities and TPUSA campuses. Sparky says in the 1800s, date rape, it was called seduction in legal records. A Victorian euphemism, yes. Yes. There's also something called, I like alienation of affection, where you woo some woman from her husband and you sue the guy versus, wait a minute, didn't she have a say in this? I wooed her? Didn't she agree to this? So, but I think it's done. I think it is done and finished. By the way, TPUSA would have been also schools. They would have petitioned for some kind of school something like, well, put it this way. If they had been a religion, like Scientology, it would have been a whole nother thing. Sean Hedman says, when do you launch your Hey Guys coffee mug? Please, please, would be too funny. Yeah, right. Yeah, I would. Hey guys. Hi. Hi. How's everybody? Hi. Hi. Yeah. How about that? Yeah, 6 days ago. Yeah, poor Charlie. Oh, well, what are you going to do? Anyway, let's talk about that merch. Hat sales are up. Ooh, and those buttons are, you go out there and sell, 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 sell. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, boo-hoo, me, me. You know what's also funny? Not funny, but people are recognizing what I had told you with others about her comparison. Her, Erika's sitting next to this poor woman whose daughter, remember the Ukrainian national or whatever, who was stabbed. She was like this. Oh, so that's how you do it, huh? And she's wearing the crown. Oh, you like that? Okay. Yeah, because what it does is it means keeping your mouth shut and being humble. Can you do that? Can you actually do that? I don't think so. Oh, do you send your merch to Australia? You know what? I think we could go online there. You can go online at the YouTube thing. I don't know about that. I've got to go to Australia one day. Except the crackdown on your individual freedom is unconscionable. Her weird whispering, yeah, under her breath. She is MK Ultra, beguiler of Charlie. But then he allowed a Satanist and mind-controlled expert on TPUSA board. What say you? You know, Satanist people normally disabuse themselves of that, but she does do that. What was that? It's Charlie. She has that down. She thinks that's her. It's like in wrestling, it's an angle. You know, it's your gimmick. You know, what are you? I'm a Samoan. I'm a Japanese, sumo, whatever it is. Love for Kitty says, I changed my handle from Come Here Kitty Kitty since you gave an inquisitive look yesterday, and Baron did before too. Not sure why. I gave an inquisitive, and Baron did before. Interesting. Well, you use whatever name you want. Here Kitty Kitty. Maybe I'm just demented. No, I know I'm demented. I know. I'm thinking, because I'm filthy. I'm thinking, somebody's going to take that the wrong way. For whatever it's worth, they're going to take that. But going back to, watch just, when you're on either YouTube or you kind of get in this algorithm. So anybody who does anything, any short or any piece on what a phony she is, those numbers are increasing. Meanwhile, Bongino said, you idiot, you shot your wad during a trailer. What are you going to do now? What are you doing? Listen, you did it. No. We know you were completely full of it because you remember, and I know I'm repeating myself, he lost his mind for a trailer. What's he going to do now? Wait till he sees it. I told you in 1973, people were passing out during The Exorcist. People went crazy over the movie The Exorcist. Not the trailer, but The Exorcist. Not Dan. He's so good, he can tell. And you also know that everybody in the Trump administration is saying, you know what, Dan? That's okay. It's okay. Take it easy, Dan. Stay over there, Dan. You go ahead. Not even 10 months. Not even 10 months. He had to leave. Mr. Stick to it. Mr. I'm going to protect me. I'm going to fight. Yeah, come on. Stop it. Now, what's also happening is that next week, when she comes back, imagine where this is going to be. Michael Higgins says, thank you for all you do. Michael, thank you. You're most kind. For all I do, this is a blast. I got to tell you something. Can I be honest with you? I love this. No, don't be honest with me. My friend says, I'm going to be honest with you, Michael, as I possibly can be. I love that thing. What does that mean? I'm going to be honest. Can I be honest? Do you mind if I be honest? Can I be honest? There's a lot of things that interest me. But when you take the interest, and you go on YouTube live, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, for example, I think the scourge, I think the end of civilization is going to be AI. and AGI, artificial general intelligence, especially with recursive self-improvement. This is the end. I know people don't want to think that, but it's true. Okay. That's a pretty serious topic, right? It's the kiss of death on live streams. People think, well, yeah, okay. And I would always think, and I would think to myself, maybe this just, I don't know, maybe this live stream stuff, I don't know. And it's a subject matter where you're like me are saying, no, it's good. No, but, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Okay, you're right. Okay, you're right. But this is like, think about it. It's a mystery. It's a serial. It's Dynasty. It's Joan Collins. It's Candace. Poor Charlie's not even, we're never going to let him, we're never going to forget him. But we're going to get her by virtue of the truth. And the truth. And when people see this, I saw somebody, just remember, I don't want to mention the names, but there's this one guy, I think he's got a beard, and he said, enough. I say, you too, Sparky? You too? They got you too? Is that you? How much are they paying you for this? This is a last fund. A last fund. Love it. Go Max. Yes. Go Max indeed. Sorry about that. This guy was saying, are you kidding me? Do you really mean this? Do you really mean this? Be nice. What are you talking about? What fraud? Are you hearing this? Do you not see this? Do you really, honestly not see she's 18 karat bullshit? You don't see this? Have you paid any attention? Do you follow this? And I think one of our family members here said, people look at me like, what's going on? So I had the opportunity the other day. I said, let me show you something. And I happened to had my iPad with me. I said, let me show you something. And one of these shorts, and I just put in, Erika. And sure enough. And I said, watch this. You think she's legit? And I saw the eyes raise and then the expression. And the look was, oh my God. I said, I know. By the way, where is she right now? Where is she as we speak? Where is she? Do we have any idea where she is? Like right this moment? Is she maybe taking care of the kids? And the thing I'm fascinated by, I think I told you this, is I love police videos, where they stop people. I just love them. I watch them all the time. I don't know why. License, registration, and they always rush to it. License, registration, insurance. What? License, registration, insurance. License, registration, and proof of insurance. And then you hear this. I don't have my license with me. You don't have it with me? With you? Okay. So what's your name? Huh? What's your name? My name? Shalandra. How do you spell that? Oh, shit. S-A-H. Wasa. And the guy said, what year were you born? How old are you? What year were you born? 38. And you're wondering, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to lie to me? I know you're lying. Well, see, I was going, no, it doesn't make any sense. Why were you going 95 miles an hour in the school zone? Well, why'd you stop me? Excuse me, that's not the question. The question is, why were you going? That's Erika. So Charlie, Charlie was going to get up early the next day. And I said, sleep in our daughters. What? Charlie was like, what, 6'4", 6'5"? Big. Sleep in a little girl's bed? I guess. Maybe it's a crib. I have no idea. Say, what are you talking about? He's like, no, I'm sleeping in my bed with you. What are you talking about? I don't want to wake me up. I'm going to wake you up. What are you talking about? That story is like, wait a minute, you just made that up. She made that up. Maybe Erika is an IDF reservist and got called up to attack Iran. Could be. I know you'd work that into it. I know it. Very slick. But nothing would surprise me. Then it's like, what's the daughter's kid's name? Gigi or something? I think Candace had a big thing about that. They said, where's the picture? I can't believe I'm in Charlie's office. She always looks up. Oh my God. You got to look up. Look up. Oh God. What are you looking at? I don't know. I always look up. I'm in his office. Where's the picture? Huh? The picture. The picture behind you. The one that was always there. In the office that you never touched. The picture that was over there. The American. Oh yeah, that. That. Well, see, my daughter, we moved this so she could see it. Yeah, okay, sure. Love for Kitty Kitty says, Lady in Congress also, Jack Prosobiec, said Erika lost the kids. Also heard CPS was called by nanny or cleaner for neglect. Do you know? That I do not know. I've heard that as well. Something tells me, though, that to lose the kids so fast, take it from me. I've done this. You just don't lose your kids because, I mean, there's got to be abuse, neglect, abandonment. It's got to be serious. I don't think so. I hope that's not true. I hope those poor kids. I swear to you, I would spend all my time getting therapists, watching them. What do I do? How do I do this? Right now, when it's fresh, when they need their mother, I would be there. I would make sure you're going to hear from me. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure you're okay, to make sure, is there anything? Watch them. Is there any bedwetting? Are there any night terrors? Is there anything? Is there eating up? Anything? The same thing you watch for abuse. Changes in behavior, changes in eating, sleeping, whatever. Again, sometimes, especially with kids, bedwetting, enuresis, all of these things which normally are indications of just trauma. Because kids are not good at telling you what they feel. They can be sitting there in a drawing. You ever see how a kid would look over and say, Grandpa doesn't come here anymore. It's like, oh my God, you notice it? It looks like you're not paying attention. Oh, they're paying attention. Oh, they're paying attention. Big time. And they don't know how to tell you. They don't know how to take the feeling that's in their heart and to put it into words. So you may think everything's groovy. No. You also have to set up a situation where the child feels that you can come up to, and you can talk to them anytime. If you ever feel bad, it's okay to miss Daddy. If you ever want to talk about this, and it's okay to cry. It's okay to talk about it. Danny Hodge and Cowboy Bill Watts, I'm with you. Danny Hodge, remember the strength? Bill Watts was Oklahoma. He was a promoter. Danny Hodge, incredible tendon strength. Oklahoma. Danny Hodge could break pliers. My friend Gordon Soley used to always talk about the incredible, we're talking about some NWA wrestling. In any event, maybe not NWA. But kids need her. They need her to be vigilant, and they need her to pay attention. She has to do it as well. Is anybody watching them? Is she as interested in their kids? Is she talking to are they in school? Are they homeschooled? What do the teachers say? What do their friends say? What? You've got to, this, and by the way, not only that, the kids must know how Daddy died. This is, and you know what kids are going to say? I saw the kids were taken in by Charlie's parents. God, I hope so. God, I hope so. People don't know about this, but there's one thing I like that the Obamas did for the girls. The grandmother was there. The grandmother. So that's a real. And that was good because I think family helps. So Don left FBI bozo left FBI paid to trash Candace. In my opinion, I don't know what he did. He's just a phony. He's forever done. He's forever done. He's forever done. You know, we also need to. We have a bunch of little boys out there. You know, when people do these things where they say, you know, your testosterone. I don't want to get into the rudiments of testosterone, but you got to look at people. You know, you look at somebody and say, excuse me, you got a beard? Yeah. You shave? Yeah. You got testosterone. Okay, that's it. Next. All this stuff. My testosterone dropped. Excuse me. Stop this. There has this thing like somehow somewhere along the line, maturity gave way to pull-ups and push-ups as a sign of some kind of worth. Hey, let's do some push-ups. No, let's don't. George Patton couldn't do a push-up to save his life. This is one of the greatest generals of all time. I'm telling you, the absolute loss of the term masculinity that has been replaced with I don't know what. I don't know what. Like George C. Marshall is, I think, the greatest American patriot ever. He was just incredible. General, General of the Army, Secretary of State with the Nobel Prize. Brutal, great man. Quiet, family man. Quiet. Just really serious, really good. Not this. I don't know what's going on right now. I don't get any of this. Something happened to us. Something happened. You know, I was very lucky. My father came home every single night. My mom, single mom, not single mom, what am I saying? Stay-at-home mom. You know, she was a mom. Everybody in my neighborhood. We weren't rich by any stretch of the imagination. We didn't know. I didn't know what rich, poor meant. But all of our moms were home. Maybe it was a different economy. And you said Mrs. So-and-so, and there were moms. And you kind of like respected them. And you said Mrs. And they didn't. This is before they were MILFs and all this crap. MILFs and cougars, and they had tramp stamps, and tattoos changed everything. Thank you, Space Goons. I like that. It's like that. Thank you. Something happened. I don't know what it was. And it changed. At least to what we're seeing now. You probably had the same thing. How many of you remember? I grew up in Florida, in Tampa, Florida. That's where I'm from. Oh, yeah. I was in just regular, whatever. And we had a camera, but, we had like, hey, Mom, take some pictures. Let me finish this roll of film, because each picture mattered. And we would take pictures, birthdays and things like that. Did you ever have we had this incredible movie projector, and my mother had these runway lights. I don't know where she got these things from, but you could light up like Polaris with this thing. You go, all right, ready? This was Christmas. And now old Uncle Joe, he always raised anything. He was eating something. This is my childhood. It's like we're smelling like we're like in the stockyards. But my mother didn't have a picture of herself in the house. Anybody remember what was that called? Oh God, what was it called? Remember in the 80s, fashion. Remember those? You go to the mall and your mother aunt would take these fashion, what they call beauty pictures. They had this weird. It's like you broke your neck. Like Danny Hodge gave you the sleeper one too many times. It's like, what is this? Beauty shots, beauty, whatever. It's like, that was it. Glamour shot. I said, Ma, what is this? You look like what is this? And you look like a cocktail waitress. What's going on with it? My father would say, what the hell is this? It's not good when you come over and go, what do you think? What the hell is this? Today, women want to be hot. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, you're a mom. It's the greatest thing in the world. It's the greatest thing in the world. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. It's the most beautiful thing in the world. You're a mother. Not that you have to be, but I'm saying it's like, regale yourself in that. Pornification nation happened. Yep. It was weird. It was strange. And then we have these other ones too. What do you think about all these teachers who are having sex with their children? Or their students, boys. And let me tell you something. When I hear somebody say, hey, she's hot looking. No kid should ever have that happen. That's abuse. You don't take a kid. You can screw some kid up. You don't want to do that. You don't want to accelerate things. Something happened. I don't know what. It was, 60s and growing up, and maybe there was a Playboy. And it was an interesting time. It was even Playboy magazine when it first came out. My friend's father had Playboy. He goes, come here, look at this. I was, oh my God. Whoa. This is when you knew you were heterosexual. You didn't even know what that meant. You didn't know what that meant until somebody said, look at this. I didn't do that for cars. I didn't do that for food or Mount Everest. No. But Playboy then was Playboy After Dark. And how do you get a hi-fi system? How do you make a martini? And what do you wear? And what kind of clothing? And jazz. And the woman was always a girl next door. And I know it was kind of cheesy. You might laugh at that, like Sparky will, who says, Dan watched his dad get beat up by his mom's boyfriend to the point of crying. He overcompensates for it. I don't know if that's even true. Dear God. You know what? That reminds me of Bill Clinton. Remember Bill Clinton? Remember his mother? She was a boutonnière. Remember that? She walked around with a tube top? Tube tops. Aren't they classy? This is before tattoos, by the way. Tattoos began the desecration of it. Tattoos ended everything. Tattoos was an experiment, a beta test to see, will people bar themselves up? Yeah. And you're going to find out, mark my words, write this down, that the lead chemicals in the ink are going to give people cancer. Watch. People with sleeves. Ridiculous. But we've lost this. And Dan and all these other people, tough guys. I don't know what you're talking about. That means nothing. Give me a real serious, and by the way, looking back, remember Leave It to Beaver and Father Knows Best and that sort of thing. Leave It to Beaver was a CIA creation. It was it was a PSYOP, sort of, but it was at the height. It was the height. Don't ever say height. I hate that. Height. Height. Anyway, it was at the height of the Cold War, right around there, and we wanted to show those Ruski bastards, those heartless heathens and atheists, what American families were like. So we came up with, Leave It to Beaver, and Mom stayed at home. Remember, she wore the pearls and the thing. Andy Griffith, Andy Griffith, by the way, the only person who was married was Otis, the town drunk. Think about that. The only person who was married, Andy was a widower, but still, Otis. Do the math. Now, today we've got this poor Charlie. Another thing too is, you know how somebody says they will refer to biblical sayings like Sparky does. It's true. Dan Gina's told the story. He vowed to never be a wimp. I'm going to look into this. Wow. Ooh. Tell me stories of your childhood, and I'll tell you who you are now. How things affected you. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Here's one. When I was a kid, this was great. When I was a kid, I stuttered. Oh, listen to this. When I was a kid, I was the biggest one in my class, tallest one. Nobody kind of messed with me, but I had glasses, braces, stuttered, and we went to Catholic school, so we had like, the uniform, the institutional white shirt, blue pants. And I didn't even have any loafers. I had a shoe with, regular, like with an arch cookie, orthopedic shoes. I was a mess. It was a mess. But my parents always said, "You're great. You're terrific. Don't worry about it." But I'm fat. No, you're not fat. You're big. You're just big. Okay. And then the stuttering came along. That's good. That's a good. That'll warm me up. My trigger words were, this is great. One was H's. I would answer the phone like this. And they say, "Did I get a obscene phone call? I called you and I happened to guess." No. Until I realized hello is really yellow. Yellow, I could say, but not that. So anyway, I got around and I learned how to. I had one nun said I was retarded. And I said, "I don't think so." And it was, I kind of grew out of it, but I still catch it sometimes. And anybody who stutters, you'll know that. It's like migraine headaches or epilepsy. You go through, you'll have an aura. You'll wake up in the morning, whoop, I feel it. Slow it down. Watch it. Watch what you say. But that's a good one. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Baron Coleman and Candace will solve Charles. I don't, you know what? I hope so. I hope so. I think one of the reasons what we got to do, seriously, what was very important, very, very critical, is we need to have almost something called, it used to be called it was a Russell Tribunal and a Sartre Tribunal. These were people who, after Vietnam, did independent. We need to have, for example, something that we put on that everybody watches. It's a paid for, but imagine 10 million people watching it. Candace will lead it. I'll be the judge. We'll have point counterpoint. But better yet, and by the way, trigger, and this is what I'm wondering, get a hold of Tyler Robinson's defense counsel and say, "Watch this. You are looking out for his best interests, are you? Yeah, you're not, you're not going to shill him out, are you? Nah. You're not going to do an insanity defense, because with an insanity defense, you got to admit you did it. It's one of the tricks. Second, affirmative defense, you have to admit you did it. I did it, but here's why. The story doesn't make any sense. So if you want to find out who did it, step one is you're going to have to undo the person who has been charged. You have to undo the person who has been initially charged with it. And then you work backwards. You see what I'm saying? Kitty says, "Your show is a nice balance of education, current events, and funny." Thank you for that. You know what funny is? Funny is being able to identify the absurd. It's only funny when you say, "Hey, you're right. That's true." Haha. It's not funny. I sound like Joe Pesci. It's not. I do sound like it. It's not that. It's the fact that you recognize something is stupid. Doctora Latina says, "I know you're on hiatus as a Catholic, but your Jesuit schooling imbued strong moral compass, intellectual curiosity, and a love of words. You leave the Roman Catholic Church, but it never leaves you." I'm not leaving anything. That doesn't matter. I'll tell you one thing I believe, very seriously. There's a lot of people walking around, they say they're Catholics, and they don't even go to church. I don't go to Mass. I don't do holy days of obligation. I don't do anything. I used to love the if it was a good homily, I got a kick out of that one. We had a guy in Tampa, Father Lawrence Higgins. He was the Monsignor. And we had these things on Saturday nights it was University of Tampa. Tampa didn't have any sports. It was before the Buccaneers. We had spring training and wrestling, but also University of Tampa, Tampa Spartans. People loved it. So he found that, he says, "How come Saturday Mass is so shitty, the turnout?" He said, "Because they're going to the game." And Tampa Stadium was right down the street. So he said, okay, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll make a deal with you. I'll give you a sped up mass. We'll do everything, but he was doing the homily while he was giving out communion. So he just moved it. And I thought that was great. Remember the folk mass in the 70s? They handed out these claves and timbales and we are one in the spirit. I like that. Then the church, I don't know what happened with the Pope. I don't know what happened, but J.P. Deuce, Wotiwa. By the way, the cool way is you always refer to the real name of this. It's Wotiwa. And then Ratzinger was fantastic. He was the Pope's bulldog. And I believe in very conservative rules. I believe that nuns are the backbone of the church. And the moment when they lost their habit, that was it. And we've got one church around, I don't want to tell you where, they're all gay, the whole group. And even though that's technically not disqualifier, there's something wrong with that. So I'm seeing a lot of stuff in the church that I don't particularly care for. Could you claim insanity if you could prove the MK Ultra'd your mind? Yes. Yes. Good question. The standard is the McNaughton rule. M apostrophe N-A-G-H-T-E-N. It's like monoton or McNaughton. And here is the most important thing. You didn't know the difference between right and wrong. You didn't know the difference between right and wrong. And sometimes the way they'll get you is they say, well, did this person hide from the police? Was he cowering in the corner? Did he take on some kind of a deceptive role? Yeah, then he knew something was wrong. He ran from the police, so he knew something was wrong. No. In his delusion, he thought you were the enemy. He thought this was a war. He didn't run from you, the police. He ran from you, the enemy. Do you think John Bonet case will be solved soon? Yes. There's something weird with that. I don't think it's the father. I don't think it's the brother or anything like that. It's a weird case. It's weird. There was an open house. There was an open house at the time of this. And it was a big house in Denver, or wherever it was, or Boulder, Denver. And at the time, you could get in to the house. And you could, this one eave, or the roof, or this, whatever, the pitch was so low at one particular point, you could have grabbed it, and the way they described it, you could go in and literally hide for long periods of time. You could hide and then come out later. The problem, though, is whoever did it sat down and wrote the note, which doesn't make any sense. Sat down, had plenty of time to write the note, because he could tell from the impressions of the pad, and knew about John's bonus and everything. Look who it is, Ohio nanny. Are you a nanny or a grandmother? Good for you, welcome. So they always said it was the brother. The brother was weird. The brother was jealous. To make a garret out of the paint, no, it doesn't matter. John Douglas, the famous profiler, said he never thought it was a father either, because when he said, show me your room. Well, he said, show me your, I think they hired him or something. He said, show me your bedroom. So when they saw it behind John John Ramsey's had a daughter or something who died tragically, and he had grief books behind him. He was himself grieving. That's not somebody who necessarily takes their child's life. And when they found the child, the way he took the child and gently placed her, they were all describing this, because Douglas said, how did he do it? Because remember, if you're the one who did this, this becomes evidence versus a child. But he knew this was his daughter, and gently took her down and gently took the tape off and tried to. Clearly, she was dead, but he didn't show any of the indications of the indicia of somebody who was evincing culpability. So, but I think, and Patsy Ramsey, I don't think she did anything. It was so tragic. But what they did with her, to put that child through that was disgusting. Disgusting. That child was like a poodle, and she was living vicariously through the mother. The mother was a beauty queen. The mother was. Because everybody, I think the most important thing to do is to tell your kids today, you can be a teacher, you can be a physician, you can be a physicist, you can do anything you want. Yes, you're beautiful. Yes, it's very important. Self-esteem is wonderful. Because unfortunately, looks in this country, they put too much emphasis on looks. Oh, and age. They tell women, don't get older, don't get older, don't get older. Men, we get distinguished. A woman gets older. That is completely fucked up. Big time. Big time. But anyway, I don't know about that. Remember one thing. And if you go back to the question about Charlie, it comes down to this. It comes down to witnesses. It comes down to behavior. And it comes down to forensics. And it comes down to labs. I want to know the forensics. I want to know what he died of exactly. Show me. Give me the reports. They have actually dowlings. Dowlings. Look at this. JFK says, Lionel, what do you think about Erika Kirk not having a boyfriend for 5 years since meeting her Charlie? Candace mentioned that EK rang in the new year with a boyfriend. Thank you for being you. Thank you for not having a boyfriend for 5 years since meeting her Charlie. I don't know what, I don't believe anything she said. Anything. She volunteers information that is just unnecessary. This is kind. And broccoli, you remind me of a kinder, gentler George Carlin. That might be the nicest thing anybody's ever said. Thank you. Thank you, seriously. But going back, JFK, this is interesting because you're telling me something to basically expurgate or remove or clean the slate of something you're worried about or you're feeling guilty about or something. You keep bringing this up about not having any boyfriends. And she loves to tell the story. And my girlfriends have realized, hi guys, I wasn't going out because, the liquor and I don't have time for the liquor and this thing. What are you talking about? Why are you telling, why are you bringing this up? Because I wish I had a different story. Because she wishes she could be the Erika you think she is. She wishes she could actually be this. So she's kind of in an ex post facto, kind of a post hoc reestablishment. She's creating her own story after the fact. But she doesn't understand something. It's like you're not smart enough to remember everything you've ever said. You've said so much for so long that everybody knows what you've done. And I'm telling you, there's somebody going back and they're putting montages together and they're putting to music. And you got our Fleet friend who's going to put it to, I mean, you have gotten the royal stamp of bullshit. Nobody believes you. And not one person who says, leave her alone, can ever tell you, well, what is Candace saying that's wrong? I don't know about that. Just leave her alone. Leave her alone. Should we leave Hillary Clinton alone? I'm not trying to put them in the same category. Let me ask you something. Quickly, think about this. Give me another name of somebody that you ever left alone because you felt sorry for them. Today. Big Dicky says, have you heard of Emanuela Orlandi going missing at the Vatican? No, you know what? I'm going to look into this. That's interesting. Dick, you're on to something there, my friend. Let us peruse this with great assiduousness. Donovan Beaton says, are there any real charities, scam after scam? Yes, there are. I think there are. Yes, there are. I can't name them right now, but I think there are. Especially if you look at like charity watches and things like that. You know what I'll tell you? Seriously? Big charities, big fraud. If somebody puts a charity out and it's smaller, they have to do what they're doing. You know what I mean? If they're skimming money, it's like there's nothing to skim. But when you have something with $1 billion in capital improvements, Minnie D says, I've only been a fan for the last few months, but I'm mesmerized. You have such a timelessness to you. That's difficult to explain. I love your work. Protect this jewel. My God, I am windswept. Thank you. Thank you. That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said. I'm just keeping it real. Hi, guys. It's so much. I'm still trying to figure out what it is about. You know what this is? This taps into something which is interesting. This taps into our ability, our appreciation for real. You know, they always say keeping it real and keep real and all this stuff with a real business. But it's made us think in ways that we never thought. Like I never realized how much sincerity is. I never grasped the notion of sincerity. How do I say this? I never realized how real and honest meant to me. Like I tell you, when I grew up, the people that I was most impressed with were our nuns. The nuns. And we had real nuns. I have such respect for them. You have no idea. I mean, I was in a bank not too long ago. We have a few of them, just a few. Some of them are from South American countries, but they have the full regalia. And I mean, I stood at attention. I respect that. Tremendously. There's another group. There's a group of people. There is a group of people called the Sisters of Life. And Cardinal O'Connor started them. The Sisters of Life is a Catholic religious institute for women that follows the Augustinian rule. It's both a contemplative and active religious community. What they do, more than anything else, and they wear full habits. I mean full. They are the most impressive things I've ever seen. We had a friend of ours, Father Jim Lloyd, who was 103. He was the oldest Paulist. He was a Paulist priest. We loved him. Oh, he was a great guy. He was in the hood, raised in Hell's Kitchen, lived there. Anyway, these nuns, Cardinal O'Connor started them. What they do is if you're a woman and you are pregnant, and they say, don't give the baby, don't have an abortion. We will help you. We'll take you in. We'll take you to doctors. We'll see that baby is placed. We will be with you every step of the way. If there's somebody threatening you, which a lot of times is the case, if you have somebody the father is pushing you to abort it, you will hide them out. I mean, it's incredible. And they're around today, and they're so young. And I'm going to say something, and you're not going to believe me, because it doesn't sound right. But they're almost angelic. They're just... I asked my wife, I said, are they really as nice as they are? He goes, yes. Are they really as happy? Yes. They're just incredible. I'm serious. That's what they do. And you see them in the hood, and they've got the long, flowing, and their habit never drags, and they're crossing the street, Hell's Kitchen, they never show any dirt or grime. Suzanne Lucas says, they say the gun had the DNA of about 5 people. Do you think it will be allowed in evidence? You know what? Absolutely. If you can show chain of custody, and if it shows also reasonable doubt. Remember, it's a good question. As a defense lawyer, I don't have to prove anything. I don't have to prove that Charlie was there, wasn't there, Tyler did it, didn't do it. The prosecution has the burden of proof. And if I can show, or cause you to have a reasonable doubt, that's not guilty. Period. So I don't have to prove anything. So if I say to you, Ladies and gentlemen, why are there 5 different, quote, DNA? I don't know what this DNA is. Is it palm DNA? Is it hand? But it's a very good question. Sparky says, my folks always told us we weren't all that. They hated conceited people, so focused on keeping all 6 of us humble. We ended up not comparing ourselves to others. Not necessarily bad, had lots of fun. The greatest thing in the world. The greatest thing in the world. I cannot stand bullshit. I am so. My wife will tell you she's the same way, but sometimes she's less harsh on people. I keep saying it, real, authentic, people who don't care what I think, who don't care about what they drive or where they live, and in New York, oh my God, are we going to the Hamptons? When she said that, that's a real bugaboo with me. When EK said, I was at the Hamptons, and they called me up. Remember that bullshit story? Which one is it? That Charlie called you or DM'd you, or that you met at the stories are so diametrically opposed. They're not even similar. But they said, so are you and your wife going? Are you going away? Am I going away? What do you mean? What are you hearing? Are you going away for the summer to your home? To our home? What are you talking about? I've never taken off. I think I took maybe a week off. I've never taken more than a week off in my life. I don't know what you're talking about. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? I don't know. Nobody, and I'm not Mr. Work Ethic here. I'm just saying, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't live like that. I have no idea. I cannot tell you also the places, I don't want to say this because it sounds like I'm name dropping in reverse, where I've said not interested or, oh, damn it, I can't do the white. I'm going to be paring off my sock drawer. I'm soaking my comb. I'm going to steaming up the mirror and drawing faces. It's a tough weekend. Oh, damn it. I wish I knew. I don't. If I told you what I enjoy doing, you'll think I'm out of my mind. I'm out of my mind. So just let me just do things I think are interesting. Let me go to some indie movies. I like to be around people. I like to go shopping with my wife. I like grocery shopping. I'm the weirdest thing. I swear to God. The other day I saw something I thought I'd never seen in a long time. They had this woman. Remember when you were kids? They had these women, and they had like a card table. It was like Jimmy Dean sausages, and they had this little frying pan. And they were like making extra money, and they had a little toothpick. Would you like one of these? And there's something about when you cut something up in small pieces, they taste fantastic. Give me 6 pounds of that Jimmy Dean. You take it home and you think, what is this? But so I started talking to people. And my wife will tell you this. And I start saying, when did you start doing this? And do you go to store to store? Sometimes if we go to Whole Foods, there'll be they make their own yogurt or something. And I ask them, how long have you done this? What's going on? Those people are interesting. I have my favorite guy at the gas station. He's from Ghana. Oh, he always sounds like he's crying. Hey, Baba. I don't know what Baba means. Baba in Sicilian means stupid woman. Babo, Baba. If I had an event, I'd invite him. Guys, but the other people, I don't want to name the places. But it seems like nobody knows what they're talking about, especially people who claim to be Republican or Democrat. They don't know anything about any of the issues that matter. And even this, it's like they don't know anything. And I'm saying this is the greatest story in the world. This is like a mystery. A crazy LDS mess mom says, EK vids public. Did she think we wouldn't see them? No. She never thought. It's a great question. She didn't care. People feel invisible. They feel like they are so great and so glorious that whenever we see her, we drop to our knees. We are overwhelmed by her pulchritude and beauty and panache and style, that our mind goes blank. We don't remember anything. We're just so happy to be honored by her and her beauty and her grace and her lame and her this and that. Yeah, but boy, they're coming through now. Doctora Latina says, Lionel, given EK's apparent lack of true employment while in New York City, how does she even afford weekends at the Hamptons or an apartment in the city? Thoughts, please? I don't know about that. I never think what are you getting at there, Latinita? What are you thinking of? Que mala. Which is my name for a Kamala. Que mala. You know, I don't want to get too theoretical here, and I don't want to. How do I say this? I don't want to. How do I take the wrong impression? But what exactly is the definition of a prostitute? Tell me. What is that? Somebody who stands on the street corner? Somebody who works, some kind of an escort service? What is it? How about somebody who sells themselves rather, but for different reasons, rather than cash is for position or something else, and I'm not suggesting that by any stretch of the imagination, but if ever there was somebody, here's my challenge. Tell me one thing she said that's ever true. Can you think of anything? Find anything that she said that's even remotely true, no matter how insignificant, anything, or where there's not at least 2 to 3 versions of the story. Find it. Good luck. Find it. I don't think it exists. I don't know, but she's lied about stuff which I don't even know. Another thing too is, I know many of you are far more biblically minded than I. And one of my best friends in the world is somebody who is an evangelical preacher, minister. So he doesn't say, when he talks about the Lord, I believe him. Veronica Chapa said, Mr. Lionel, you always make me smile and I enjoy your insight. Thank you. Nicest thing in the world. Nicest thing. You know what the most important thing in the world is? Is when dogs like you and kids like you. When a kid likes you, they can see into your soul. That's why when people want to hurt them, I lose my mind. Bomb sniffing. This is Donovan Beaton says, bomb sniffing dogs finished 3rd in national competition, but couldn't find a 30-on-6 just fired. Yes, yes. And what about this? Help me with this one. Did you read the text messages that this guy wrote allegedly to his gay girlfriend, whatever this thing was with the fuzzy hat? I don't know what the hell that's about, but weird. There's one thing about, I don't know if you've ever gotten an email or a text from somebody who's, a kid there or younger. There's nothing. A lot of emojis, a lot of abbreviations, a lot of stuff. And there's like, can you put it the vehicle? Vehicle? Who wrote this? It's not even ChatGPT. I don't even know what it is. It's not real. It's not legit. Anybody can say this. Number one, to the jury. You have any reasonable doubt about that? Well, you should. You should. Not only that. Have I got this right where he calls or texts or says, listen, would you do me a favor? Would you get that gun? My grandfather's going to kill me. Wait a minute. You know what you just red rummed? You red rummed this guy? This is the least of your worries. No, my grandfather's going to kill me. No, the state may do that. This is also a firing squad state, the last time I checked. What are you talking about? Did you see this? Did you see this? What does this mean? What are you worried about that? Grandpappy shooting iron? Well, I told him he's going to be madder than. Then they should have said, listen, you got to understand something here. You want me to retrieve this? They're going to have drones, dogs. What am I going to do when I catch it? And what do I do with this rifle when I walk out with it? Oh, I just found this. Who are you? Nobody. Hey, aren't you that fuzzy gay trans? Well, yeah. You want to risk my freedom for this? Sparky says, many people think the path to friendship is by impressing people. They should read How to Win Friends and Influence People. Oh, yeah, by Dale Carnegie. Dale, that is a damn good book. Also, what was that one? Napoleon Hill and all my friends who were salesmen would read that. But let me go back. Doesn't that make no sense to you? And where is Lance? Lance is nowhere to be found. I'd lock him. I would make sure he's under protective custody, because if something happens to him, and also, my friends, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this because I don't want to, like a lot of people did, like Bongino was talking about, almost talking about people's kids and things like that. Think, what a sick bastard this guy is, Mr. Tough Guy. But if ever there was a person to really watch, it's Tyler. Because you know that if he's gone, that's it. Oh well, we'll never know. Next. Same thing with Epstein. Now, 2 questions. Number 1, you think Charlie's alive? I put that up there because people are actually saying that. Do you think he's alive? Do you think he's alive? Do you think Charlie is alive? Keep going with that question. What does that mean? Do you think he was alive? You think Epstein's alive? Do you think he's alive? Yes or no? What do you think? Do you think he's alive? Do you think he's alive? Do you think Charlie is alive? Somewhere, someplace. Work backwards. Work backwards. Think and Grow Rich. Oh, yes, Napoleon Hill. That's a great name, isn't it? Napoleon Hill. That's like the name I used to always like was Pocahontas Lipschitz. Let's work backwards. Charlie, what? We're going to create what appears to be your red room, as they say. Yeah, can you wear this squib? Can you hear this squib or something here? Because we need something to, because there were people there who saw that. You saw that. This. Okay, you got that? You got this? Put it here. Then we're going to also have to take you away. We're going to have to also get a death certificate. I guess that's been there. You could probate the will. And you're going to go with some kind of witness protection thing somewhere. And you're going to have to falsify the ME's report if we ever see any. You're going to have to get the family to play along with this. I mean, people do go into witness protection, but you can never be Charlie again. You can never come out of hiding. Why do it in the first place? Why do it in the first place? Why are you doing it? What are you accomplishing with it? What? What? I don't get it. I don't get it. If you really wanted to red room, the best way to do it would be to talk to some professionals and do it someplace not in the open. Not with people with 1,000 cameras. Does this make any sense? Do it in the open. Do it in front of everybody. Or not, I mean, just something, same thing with Epstein. He could have just disappeared in Paris. He could have just disappeared. Nobody even knew who the hell he was. But they wanted to do it in person. Now, you think this guy's alive? Or see, maybe he's in Israel. He can't be Epstein anymore. He's got to just hide out. He's got to live a regular life. He's got to be on the down low. And also, who signed the death certificate? It's for you to do this. The amount of the people in charge, the people involved, the people at every level, it's just too difficult. I mean, it's possible, but at a 99% failure rate, why do people do that? Why do people do this? They do it because, which is one of the reasons why in the book Elizabeth Kubler-Ross on Death and Dying, I told you, they always told people they told the military, if you have the remains of anybody, if you find, sometimes they find a plane crashed, we find the remains, it's just a couple of bones, bring it to the parents or bring it to somebody. There has to be, I hate that word closure, but there has to be something that identifies them. Yes, he is done. Because people tend to become psychotic. People tend to be psychotic. They tend to, they start to They start to think things that don't make any sense. They tend to imagine stuff. It's weird. It's the strangest thing. They imagine all types of events that might or might not have happened because the idea is so difficult. I also worry about those kids because those kids are going to have somebody, a friend of theirs, who's going to have a big mouth, and because kids know so much more than they did years ago, they're going to do something where they're going to bring this up to their kids, and the kids are going to have to see this. And I worry about that. That's got to be awful. This is your father? For the rest of your life, you're going to be, no, there's no mention of this. And every single, put it this way, going back to EK, as we call her, she never talks about the institution. She never talks about the group. She never talks about anybody. She talks about herself. She always talks about herself. How's she doing? About how she met Charlie. How Charlie told her. There is never a sentence where she's not in the sentence. It's never about, our kids are doing fine, and I worry about, I worry about them, and they're the most important priority. And the important thing is for Charlie for his mission to remain unencumbered, to proceed forward. It's important for Charlie. It's important for them. It's important to what they got. No, it's always me. I believe, and Charlie told me, and I think that I know this sounds really ghoulish, but for somebody who is a grieving wife, she is, without a doubt, the most, how do I say this? She is the most venal, craven, the most. And like I told you, I don't think it's psychopathy, but narcissism. Narcissism. She loves the image of herself that she wants you to believe. She's been through many incarnations. If you said to her, Erika, let's talk about the pageant you. Let's talk about the New York you. Let's talk about the dating you. Let's talk about the whatever you. Let's talk about the actress you. And the reason I'm saying this, Erika, is because there were different yous. Depending upon the you we're talking about, you were a different person. You were a different style. You were you were different. You were completely different. You were monumentally different. Each iteration of this showed a different you. You're chameleon. You're malleable. You're protean. You transmogrify. It's like a metamorphosis. There is no you. I want to speak to, I would like to do a hypnosis and talk to the real Erika. Where is she? Does she exist? What does she have to say? When did she ever exist? When did you first start taking on these roles? When did you first? So it remains. My friends, we've been talking an hour and 43 minutes. An hour and 43 minutes, and I'm shocked because it seems like I've been talking maybe 5 minutes because I enjoy this so much. Because this is such a fascinating dissection of issues and behavior, and it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. We should, well, you got me hooked. Why don't we, if you would ever indulge me with this, I would appreciate it. Our friend, who is it? Hang on a second. Aries Vixen says, EK is fake AF. As a grieving wife, I lost my husband 5 years ago and still cry. And we were separated during his motorcycle accident. There was no one to blame. I wanted to accuse everyone, not forgive. I am so sorry for that. And you must probably be, more than anybody else, so angered by what she's shown you. When you see people doing this, it probably enrages you like nothing anybody's ever seen. Thank you for sharing your night with us. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, no. This is also, it goes to show you the level of, not psychopathy, but just shallowness. Helga, Shabala Ding Dong says, I believe she was bred to do this. Oh, listen, as I said, I agree with you. I think if you look at how they were bred, but also conditioned, trained, cultured, indoctrinated, I don't know what the word is, just kind of like acculturated, incredible. Well, my friends, I think in an hour and 45, I think it's by time to thank you for your kindness, for your generosity, for listening to me, for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you. You've been so kind. Also, you've been so kind to my wife, Mrs. L, at Lynn's Warriors. Means the most to me. She is the greatest person I know. The light of my life. I lucked out. I hit the jackpot. I mean to tell you. When you love somebody madly and you respect them, oh, Jesus God. Talk about it. Whoa. Tell my friends I thank you. So anyway, please follow us. Tomorrow is March 1st. Spring is what? Daylight savings, was it March 9th or something? Isn't that? We're gonna start slowing. We're gonna start seeing a return to whatever it is. I guess. What do I know? In any event, thank you. Keep asking. Keep questioning. Don't think for 1 minute that you have to justify to anybody why you think this is interesting. Screw them. Or F them. That's what I think. Anyway, thank you, my friends. And to all of you, to you wonderful people who have provided super chats and the like, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's very, very kind. We will do it again. Please like this video. I'll put up some questions to follow up. We'll do it again. Follow me. This is great. It was also, by the way, one last thing. This has inspired discussion in other areas about family, about roles of sexuality and fathers and this and family and maturity and the media and criminal justice and legal and evidence. And it has been the springboard for so many additional issues as derivatives of it. And it's fascinating. So that's what we'll do. Anyway, I love you folks. You are the best. We will talk again tomorrow. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that little bell so you know we're live. And that's about it. Have a great and a glorious evening. I love you to death. Seriously. And until then, I always ask you to comment, my friends, as you see fit. And we will see you tomorrow. And again, thank you.